The third generation Honda Pilot has been out since 2016, which means here in 2022, we are ready for that fourth gen to come out, and Honda's finally given us some teasers. Over at the Honda newsroom, all new 23 Pilot TrailSport engineered for adventure and tested across the US. And we'll read this little paragraph before we get into the images here. So tested on challenging terrain all over the country, the all-new 23 Honda Pilot TrailSport will be the most rugged Honda SUV ever. So even more rugged than the Passport TrailSport that's preceded it. It will have standard all-terrain tires, steel skid plates, off-road tuned suspension, and expanded all-wheel drive system capabilities. The next-gen Pilot and Pilot TrailSport will revealed this fall. Let's get into these tasty images. Now, I don't remember seeing this blue color on a Pilot before. I'll try to look up and post what this color might be. It's like a sky blue. Fog lights down here at the bottom, silver accent at the bottom of the bumper as well. A pretty aggressive front bumper here. And it looks, kind of like the new CR-V in some ways. And that's not a bad thing because I think the new CR-V is pretty handsome. By the way, make sure to stay tuned. I will be sharing my driving impressions of the new CR-V on September 19th, and I will be driving the hybrid this October. And stay tuned because after we go over the Pilot images, we'll talk about the CR-V pricing and packaging because that was revealed yesterday. Haven't got around to it yet. We also have these roof rail crossbars here. Look pretty cool, I guess. The camera system here for the upgraded safety systems. We have that orange TrailSport logo. Bright shiny chrome Honda badge. You see the 360 camera here. I don't know if this is a raindrop, but this could be some addition to the camera as well, this top portion. Typically we see this piece on just about every car, that front camera. We also have for their safety system, like I said, a camera up here. Blacked out mirrors on this TrailSport. And we also have a black grille, but a black surround around the grille as well. We're not done. It looks like these are fully LED headlights as well. Just keep that in mind. We got more. So here's the back. Holy cow. They put Pilot in large font with this black bar that kind of connects the rear taillights. TrailSport, I think the TrailSport orange goes really well with this blue. That's a really nice contrast there. I would say these rear taillights look pretty masculine. What do you guys think? They look pretty chunky, pretty blocky. Here's the rear windshield wiper. Here's a paint matched antenna. Of course, we have those black roof rails that we saw earlier. And just like on the front, we had a silver garnish at the bottom. We have the silver garnish on the back here, and then also a hitch receiver as well. The rest of the images here are going to be fully camouflaged. So yes, it just kind of gives you an idea of the overall proportions of the new Pilot. There it is being tested off-road. I can't tell what size of tires and wheels. The wheels might be 18s. That'd be pretty cool. There it is going downhill. Of course, it'll have downhill assist control. Heck, even the new HR-V has that standard, which is pretty cool. Next image, even more cladding here as it's being tested. Probably somewhere in Utah would be my guess. And then we have, yes, these blacked out wheels will be interesting because I don't think we've seen images of the wheels on those teaser images. 10 spoke wheels. Yes, I had to count them. I edited that out. But no, we don't have an idea of what the actual wheels are going to look like. So maybe they'll look like these 10-spoke wheels here. Looking at sales of the Pilot, last year they rebounded quite heavily from 2020. 2020, the pandemic year, of course. So sold 143,000, which was one of the highest years in recent memory. When the Pilot came out, I think it came out in 2003, was selling a ton. Now there's more competition on the market. You have the Palisade, the Telluride in there. I will be getting a Rock Creek Pathfinder today to test out. That's pretty cool. So yeah, the Pilot has its work cut out for it with competition with the Highlander, the upcoming Grand Highlander, the Koreans, like I mentioned, the new Pathfinder is pretty good. And then you have the competition from the Americans as well that I don't really cover. And before we get into the CR-V packaging and pricing, what are the powertrains for the Pilot? I think it's almost guaranteed that the V6, the 3.5 liter V6 is going to stick around. It would be nice to get a chain instead of a drive belt. That would be great, but I just don't see it happening. The MDX has a belt, a drive belt instead of a drive chain. So it is what it is. I'm expecting the V6 to stick around. what about a hybrid? Well, Honda doesn't have a powerful enough hybrid that we know of to power something as big as the Pilot. So yeah, I'm only expecting maybe the 10-speed auto. I think that's a lock with the V6. I'll see you guys down below what you think is going to be powering this upcoming 4th generation Pilot. But we're going to get into the CRV here because we have, well, a lot of things to talk about here. So this is going to be the second half of the video. If you missed my walk around on the CRV, make sure to check that out. It is the best-selling crossover since 1997 here in America. A lot of people say, no, the RAV4 is. Well, the RAV4 sells more per year now, but that hasn't always been the case. So if you add up the cumulative sales going back to 97, the CRV kicks the RAV4's butt. Maybe in the next 5 years, the RAV4 can surpass it in total sales. It'll be interesting. There's also a new hybrid model here, and the starting price is a lot higher on the new CRV. They got rid of the base LX trim, and it will start at $31,110 before destination, including destination. Front wheel drive is going to be $32,355. But if we look at the outgoing model, started at $26,800 before destination. So if you add about it'd be about $28,000 after destination. So we got about a $4,000 markup. Well, markup's a fun word right now, but we got a $4,000 price increase from the outgoing model to the new model. Better standard equipment now as a result, better safety, better space, better powertrain, better revised CVT as well. So also the Sport and Sport Touring are going to be the hybrid models, and those are going to be kind of like the range topping models of the new CRV. We don't have like a limited or a touring trim here. EXL is going to be the highest trim you can get for the turbo model. Now, what's interesting with the fuel economy is that the hybrid kicks butt in town. City driving up to 43 miles per gallon on the front wheel drive Sport model. But if we look at the Sport Touring, which is going to have the biggest wheels, the 19-inch wheels, your fuel economy goes down. It's only getting 34 miles per gallon on the highway. And if we look at the EXL all-wheel drive, it gets 32 miles per gallon on the highway. So if you're driving your CRVs mostly on the highway, the hybrid might not be that much of an upgrade in terms of fuel efficiency. In terms of performance, I think it will be, but stay tuned because I have to drive both of them to find out. Also, what I find interesting is the huge price difference between the Sport all-wheel drive, which is about $34K. Well, let's look at after destination, $35K to roughly $40K. So from Sport all-wheel drive to Sport Touring all-wheel drive is a $5K difference, and you get the same fuel economy, you get the same hybrid powertrain, the equipment will change, the wheels get bigger, you get a better sound system. So let's get into the packages here. Base EXL gets a turbo, 190 horse, 179 pound-feet of torque. Peak torque comes in 300 RPM earlier than the last model. Now the base model comes with a 7-inch touchscreen, has standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it also has a tuning knob and physical buttons for the radio system, where the upgraded 9-inch screen does not. We have heated front seats, we have partial digital instrumentation, dual zone climate control, one-touch power sliding moonroof. So moonroof is standard. That sometimes people don't want a moonroof on their vehicles. So that's interesting. Now you don't have a choice. Moonroof is standard. You also have heated outside mirrors, LED headlights is standard, and 18-inch wheels are standard on that EX trim. Going a couple grand more. So we're going from the EX, let's say two-wheel drive, $32K, to the EXL, which is $35K. So almost $3,000 more. I'm just kind of rounding up and down here. About $3,000 more, features the same engine and CVT as the EX trim, but you get leather seats, you get the bigger screen, which gives you wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. You also get a wireless charger and an upgraded 8-speaker audio system and low-speed braking control. Now we're transferring to the hybrids. Honda wants to sell half of their models starting in 2023 as the hybrid. And I think these sport models, the sport model hybrids will do well, especially this front-wheel drive model, getting that lovely 40 miles per gallon combined. It has the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It has been updated. It has 204 horsepower. The traction motor peak torque rises to 247 pound-feet, which is up 15 pound-feet of torque. They're saying compared to the turbo, we have much better fuel economy, 43 miles per gallon in the city for sport versus 28 miles per gallon for the EX and EXL in town. So if we look at the fuel economy, not just in town, but average. So the Sport EX and EXL get 30 miles per gallon front wheel drive, but the Sport front wheel drive gets 40 miles per gallon combined. That's an increase of 33% versus the front wheel drive model, and it should give you better performance as well. And just like the turbo models, the Sport hybrids come with 18-inch wheels, but these are Berlina black 18-inch wheels. And on the inside, we have a unique interior, unique seats. We have a leather wrapped shift knob and steering wheel are standard. We also have unique gloss black exterior accents and rectangular exhaust finishers. So the range topping Sport Touring, which is going to be roughly $40,000 after destination, which if we looked at the outgoing model, it went up to $38K before destination. So it's really not that much, because if you add destination, it's a little over $39K. So what is the new top of the line Sport Touring model on the CR-V get you? We already mentioned the 204 horsepower hybrid 2-liter setup, so there's nothing different there. But it does get 19-inch wheels, which are the largest on the product stack for the new CR-V. It has a new 12-speaker Bose audio system, and it has Honda satellite linked nav system and a Wi-Fi hotspot. So really, when I see the Sport Touring, it's going to have the bigger wheels and the biggest sound system. Is that going to be worth about $5,000 more than what we have on the Sport trim? Not so sure. I don't know if I'm sold on the Sport Touring right now. The Sport looks to be the deal with that hybrid setup. Best fuel economy, best power, and a good amount of equipment as well. They're saying the new all-wheel drive system can send up to 50% of the torque to the rear wheels, and we have a new hill descent control system enhancing the CR-V's off-road capabilities. Sport and Sport Touring models add a sport mode, while the other models just get normal econ and snow mode. So where are they making this new CR-V? So we have the East Liberty Auto Plant in Ohio, the Indiana Auto Plant, and the Honda of Canada manufacturing. They're saying since 2006, Honda's produced more than 5 million CR-Vs in North America, roughly half of those built in the US. And if we go down here, they're saying that in 2021, more than 95% of all Honda vehicles sold in the US were made in North America. That is going to go even higher now, because the insight and the clarity are no longer being imported. So I don't know what vehicles are not made in North America at this point, because the HRV is made in Mexico, the Celaya plant. We have plenty of volume coming from that Canada plant, and most of the volume coming from the United States of America. The Honda Civic Type R, I think, is the only vehicle, and that's a fraction of 1% for the total Honda lineup. So yeah, we don't really have any Hondas made in Japan anymore. How do you guys feel about that? Doesn't bother me as long as the quality is still there. So based off the pricing, packaging, and hybrid or non-hybrid, which model are you going to be getting, or would you be getting, of the new CR-V? I think the Sport front wheel drive, as long as you don't need all wheel drive, the Sport front wheel drive to me looks to be the winner. Most power, most fuel efficiency, and it should look pretty decent as well. I just don't see the value in spending an extra $5,000 more or so on the Sport Touring model, even though it gives you a better sound system and bigger wheels. But is it worth $5,000? I just don't. I'm struggling. And are you excited for the new Pilot? Make sure to stay tuned, and make sure to stay tuned for my driving impressions on the CR-V Turbo and Hybrid later this year. Oh, I also forgot to mention, it will go on sale September 22nd. So driving embargo in September 19th. Sale date is September 22nd, and then hybrid models will be sold in October. I will be driving the new CR-V Hybrid in October as well. Forgot to mention that, but I'm going to end it there. If you enjoyed today's Honda Pilot and CR-V breakdown, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more Honda news and reviews. Honda and Acura are bringing me up to their Performance Manufacturing Center early October, so I'll get to see the last NSX Type S be built. Pretty crazy. Anyways, I'm going to end it there. I got to cut myself off at some point. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves and peace out.